So I've said before that the Watchtower behind closed doors, and sometimes not behind closed doors, they'll pretty much say anything to achieve whatever their goal is. Okay, this is, see how thick that is? This is the transcript for one particular day in court, where we were supposed to have a corporate review because Ernest Brady had forged the property deed for the Menlo Park congregation. We'll get into that later, but the interesting thing about this is right here on the 4th page of this this 1.5 inch thick transcript. This is the Watchtower's lead counsel, Calvin Rouse is his name. And in his opening arguments, he says, I am general counsel for the National Organization of Jehovah's Witnesses out of Brooklyn, New York. Ordinarily, I wouldn't be here, but this is one of our 13,000 congregations in the United States. We are a hierarchical religion structured just like the Catholic Church. Here it is in the record. Okay? Now, here I am being accused of being an apostate, and I'm not even baptized or one of Jehovah's Witnesses. But here you have Calvin Rouse, lead counsel for the Watchtower. In his opening arguments, he says, we are a hierarchical religion structured just like the Catholic Church. If that's not apostate language. Okay, and the point that I'm making is, I'm not one of Jehovah's Witnesses, but even I know from my research for the legal case, this is an organization that's not hierarchical. So why would you claim that? You know? And why, if you are saying you're the true religion, to me, if I'm the true religion, I am not going to compare myself to a religious group that I consider false. I mean, if you're the true religion, why would you compare yourself to the Catholic religion? Because that's what he said, his exact words. It says right here, you know, we are structured just like the Catholic Church. So the point that I'm making is, these are guys who are willing to say anything if they think nobody's ever gonna know or ever gonna find out. And all we've ever tried to do was make stuff like this available so that you can come to your own decisions, you can come to your own conclusions, you can come to your own understanding. Like I said, I'm not trying to give the Watchtower a black eye. I'm not an apostate. None of us, through this whole situation, none of us are. You know, these guys stuck to their principles, they stuck to their beliefs. You know, I respected them. There was times I was putting together documents and I said, I gotta add this, and they're like, no, that will be interpreted as possibly blasphemous. So no, don't do that. You know, these guys have real strict control over what I put together, you know. But you sit in a courtroom and here's a Watchtower lawyer in his opening statement comparing himself to the Catholic Church and saying he's a it's a hierarchical organization. I mean, you know, and I'm sitting here laughing, but it's sad. It's really sad, you know. And all we ever wanted was for the public in general to know this is what's going on in court. These are the kind of things that they're saying. And you don't have to believe me. Get the documents yourself. Get the transcript yourself. You know, read it for yourself. We have never jumped up and down and said, believe us, we're telling the truth. We've never done that. All we've tried to do is present documents so that you can look at the evidence and come to your own conclusion, your own choices, your own understanding. That's all we've ever done. We asked questions in the very beginning, and the Watchtower basically told us, you just shut up and don't ask, because there are things going on that are beyond your understanding. And we're like, okay, but we're not talking about spiritual stuff. We're talking about money and accounts and avoiding paying taxes. Using a very complicated and complex scheme that actually involves all the 13,000 kingdom halls that Mr. Rouse has described. And that's all we wanted. Someone to just look into it. We weren't trying to bring down the Watchtower. We were just trying to say, hey, we discovered some irregularities and what looks like clear-cut criminal activity. And all we wanted was just somebody to do their job and look into it.